Today I'm going to be doing a ballistics test, a meat target test on the 40 Smith & Wesson out of a 4-inch PX4. Now, the two rounds that I'm going to be testing, it's basically going to be a comparison on how they function. So instead of doing like different barrel lengths, because I just got into 40 and pretty much all I have is 4-inch barrels. So I got the 165 grain Sig Sauer VCrown. So pretty inexpensive. It's about $18, $19 a box or whatever, compared to, you know, other things that might be more than 20, even more than 30 a box. And then we have Winchester white box 180 grain economical hollow points. Now, the interesting thing about this hollow point is when you look on Winchester's website on their law enforcement section, this is actually listed as an option for law enforcement officers. Now, according to the testing that they did, it was one of the only actual products of their economical line that actually passed the FBI standards in their gel testing, getting a minimum of 12 inches, etc., doing good through even windshields, auto glass. So we're going to go ahead and test it today to see if this holds up to what is called the hyper ammunition or premium ammunition. So let me go ahead and get started. I'll start out with the Sig Sauer VCrown 165 grain. I'm going to fire 4 shots from about 7 yards, and let's see how we do. Also, one thing before we start, I want to note I have pork chops in a Ziploc bag right here, 2 layers of t-shirt, and then I have pork ribs, watermelon, pork ribs on the back, and of course I got 2 t-shirts, 2 layers of t-shirt on the other side, and then a rolled up towel to hopefully catch the bullets. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here are the recovered bullets. One of them lost his jacket, and you can see it definitely was hitting bone going through. All of them expanded and they went through the t-shirt. They went into the t-shirt, and this one actually went into the towel through the t-shirt. So, you know, it wasn't exactly a failure to expand or whatever, but basically since the watermelon had gotten chewed up to a certain point, we didn't exactly have perfect expansion on everything. And as you can see, this one definitely did hit a bullet. It grazed it at least on this side, but that's darn near perfect expansion. So let's go ahead and move on to the Winchester white box. But so far, Sig did pretty good through those mediums, a little better than the Remington 115 grain, the 9mm. So let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, so I'm not sure if you were able to see that, but I had this bullet go into the towel and also this bullet go into the towel. Now, they hit pretty thin layers, but they went through ribs and all, and these two were basically stuck in the first layer of t-shirt. And I would actually say that this did a lot more damage to the watermelon. It just annihilated it, and we didn't have jacket separation, even though they went through some pretty harsh areas and smashed through bones. These 3 were basically smashed through bone, and you can tell they were just flattened out really well, but they maintained their form very well, and they just destroyed the bone. So I'm pretty impressed with this economical hollow point, especially through a 4-inch barrel. I think it did kind of better than the Sig VCrown 165. Now, of course, maybe the 180 grain would be a little bit different, get deeper penetration and all, but I don't know. So let's go ahead and close. So what can we learn from this test? Well, basically, to wrap it up all in one before I break it down more, is premium ammunition doesn't always really outperform basic ammunition. Now, let me go ahead and break this down a little bit. Sig Sauer has this round. It's actually becoming very popular, and for very good reason. It's a good round. This is a 165 grain. The Winchester is a 180 grain, but this round is designed to have a redundant hollow point, so it's different stages. So the top stage is for lower velocity and stuff like that. If it doesn't hit like optimal, I guess you could say, expansion threshold, then at least the top will expand. It's pretty brittle. I don't want to say brittle, actually. It's kind of soft, and then it takes a lot more force to open it up from the bottom here. So even if it's clogged, with material, this top point will expand, and I've seen that with other tests as well, several other tests that I've conducted. So this is a pretty good hollow point. It will expand almost no matter what, but when we hit bone, it doesn't exactly do what you'd think it would do, because it says it can go through all these different barriers and still look damn near perfect, like this one. This hit through bone, and it still has its little unique look to it, and it doesn't exactly end up that way. Like when you hit bone and it fails to expand all the way, this is the kind of thing that can happen when bone hits it prematurely and it's not really done yet, if you will. It can fail to expand a little bit. When this kind of thing happens, it kind of throws the idea of a certain hollow point being perfect out the window, and I've seen this with a lot of premium ammunition. Now, let's go ahead and step over to the 40 caliber. This, according to some of my research, is one of the first hollow points to actually come out and be available for law enforcement that were using 40 caliber. And if you look on, as I said before, if you look on Winchester's law enforcement site, this is basically the only load that actually passes the FBI ballistics tests, or their ballistic protocol, I guess you could say, through all barriers: bare gel, heavy clothing, auto glass, whatever. So that's actually pretty amazing. But if you look at these hollow points, and then you look at the Sig hollow points, try to do this without dropping them. So if you look at that, these ones got really torn up. It's like they weren't really designed to actually hit anything after they expanded. But these, even though they hit things after they expanded, they all hit bone. So it was actually pretty amazing to see how well these things held together. And you can see these all hit bone in one way or another, and this one actually hit the worst. It actually lost a lot of lead, and as you can see there, it's just drooped over the side, and it just peeled a lot of lead off. Actually, I think it's this one. Yeah, this one. This one's really light, and you can see there it just sheared off the top of it, but this hit a bone right on, but it still did an amazing job. And through a 4-inch barrel, I'm pretty confident with this load over the Sig load. Now, it's not saying that the Sig load is bad, but for the price, $19 for the Sig load, $30 for 50 rounds, Winchester white box, I'll take the Winchester white box. It does good through pretty much all barriers, and it has good performance and holds its weight really well. I'd rather take this, but you be the judge. Well, that pretty much does it for the 40 Smith & Wesson ballistics test, at least in this round. So check out my blog at doitright.org. I'm going to be doing reviews on each of these bullets, giving them a little bit more information on the test with a few pictures. And thanks a lot for watching.